Stash.
And I'm Rita and Matt.
Welcome to Beereviews, where we review beer in a way that you, the casual beer drinker, can understand.
This episode today is brought to you by the letter floor, as in what we're sitting on.
That's right. Today's special guest was going to be my roommate, but she moved out because I made her miserable and, well, she makes me look like a productive, sober member of society.
Shall we get down to it?
Absolutely. What's the first beer we're going to be drinking today there, Rita?
We are going to be drinking Gingerland from UFO.
Gingerland? That sounds like it must have some sort of ginger quality to it. Tell me.
Probably.
Probably? Alright, I'll pour the beer, then you read the label.
I'm a big fan of UFO's beers. I love their wheat beer, available on tap occasionally around this area. I find it even better than other wheat beer options out there.
Well, of course, Rita, as we established in the last episode, there's two types of beers that you specifically like. One being wheat beer and the other being...
Cheap beer.
Cheap beer. Anything that's $2.
My beer tastes are more diverse than that, okay?
Alright, fair enough.
Sometimes it's difficult choosing what kind of beer I'd like to drink, and then I go for whatever's $2. Well, it says it's a gingerbread-inspired beer.
Ooh, gingerbread-inspired.
Brewed, not baked, poured, not sliced, inspired by a classic tale, deliciously spiced. Welcome to Gingerland.
Gingerland. And as we established in the last episode, we are not all about craft beer. We're not all about mass market beer. We're not beer snobs. I am pretentious as hell, and I am certainly a snob about certain things, but beer is not one of those. So today we're going to be discussing things in a way that you can understand.
UFO, one of their trademarks is the unfiltered beer, which means that it doesn't go through a huge filtration process, and it means that the beer left is a lot cloudier.
A little cloudier. We haven't talked at all about the beer. It's mild in the gingerly. I was expecting a little bit more like
pungent.
I was expecting a face full of ginger. I was expecting like something like a really strongly seasonal kind of beer that says, hey, look at me. I'm seasonal for a limited time only. Got a ton of ginger, a ton of spice, and I taste like a piece of gingerbread. Not really the case.
Oh, it is pretty mild. I mean, the ginger, it's there. It's not really a spicy ginger. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of extra sweetness to it.
Nope.
Which
is good.
It's not to say that it's a standard like beery beer that's like, ooh, this is weird ginger flavor in it. It's nice balance. It really is with there's a little ginger flavor, a little ambiguous spice that's floating down somewhere in the flavor.
It's cinnamon.
Yeah, it's just, well, thank you. Is that what it says on the label?
No, but that's ambiguous flavor. It's always cinnamon.
Yeah.
Nutmeg.
Yeah, I would actually, I was thinking this is going to be like a sickeningly sweet brown sugar kind of beer with a bunch of obnoxious flavors. I was expecting the wheat to be really mouthy. Like I said in the last episode, I'm not a big fan of wheat beers. I was expecting it to be a lot more mouthy, like it has a slice of bread stuffed in it, but really not the case. I'm pleasantly surprised. I would drink this.
Now, UFO is a line of beers, presumably from Harpoon.
What else does Harpoon make?
UFO.
Oh.
I don't know what else.
Okay.
We'll find that out.
Where's Harpoon at? Ooh.
Boston, Massachusetts.
At where is Harpoon? Boston, Massachusetts. Sorry,
At where is Harpoon?
I ended it with a preposition. Where's it at? I tell you what, boy.
Where you at?
Well, I enjoy that. That's pretty good as far as a wheat beer. I like it. It's mild. It's not too wheaty. As far as a ginger kind of seasonal beer, also like it. It's not too obnoxiously seasonal. If you hadn't told me it was a gingerbread beer, I wouldn't have really known until you said it.
I think it's delicious. I think it would go well with really afternoon drinking or cake or cheese.
So the three favorite things in your life: afternoon drinking, cake, and cheese.
You know what? What beers you drink in the afternoon are really important. You can't just drink any beer in the afternoon. You can't just pop open any beer and drink it in the afternoon. You've got to think about it, especially depending on the time of year. I mean, you don't want to be drinking those heavy stouts and those winter ales in the middle of the afternoon.
They'll knock your ass out. And shall we go to the next beer then?
Sure.
All right.
Also a ginger offering. This comes to us from Shipyard. It's called Gingerhead. There's nothing pertinent on the label. They don't tell us anything. Although it does have a nice graphic of a little cowboy gingerbread man riding a horse.
Now, my first exposure to Shipyard was
it in a shipyard? Was it in a shipyard?
My first exposure to Shipyard was in a shipyard. No, it was actually in Orlando, Florida, a place called the White Wolf Cafe, right before I played a show at a place that I can't remember the name of. Anyways, it was the first pumpkin beer I'd ever had. It was the Shipyard Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
and that was the first pumpkin beer I ever had. I think it was actually a pumpkin lager, maybe.
That's bizarre. Ooh.
Yeah, which is strange.
Is this an ale?
But
Bring it back to me.
it just says Pumpkinhead.
No, it's a gingerbread.
Oh, sorry, gingerbread. I was thinking about the Pumpkinhead.
Now they are from Maine.
Well, the Pumpkinhead beer.
This is darker.
Yeah, the Pumpkinhead beer describes itself as a malt beverage with pumpkin and spice flavorings. It doesn't actually say anywhere on it
Wow.
ale or lager. And I'm guessing by your reaction that what I expected is happening, because the Pumpkinhead beer that Shipyard makes is really extreme. You can taste the pumpkin, you can taste the cinnamon. It's got a lot of cinnamon. What is hard words to say when you're drinking?
Anemone?
Cinnamon.
Anemone?
Anemone.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. A lot of cinnamon in it. Ooh, I screwed it up again. And a lot of brown sugar. So it's really a flavorful beer. So I'm guessing, I've yet to take a taste, but this is going to have the same effect.
Honestly, what I'm perceiving from this, I mean, it is a darker beer.
Whoa!
I try to keep that from happening. You know, a lot of places that you go to, when you get a pumpkin beer, you get one of those cinnamon sugar rimmed glasses, and it makes it delicious because most of the time the beer isn't especially sweet.
Right.
You know, a lot of times it's a very light kind of pumpkin flavoring added to a lager, something a little heavier. And this just tastes like you poured the brown sugar and cinnamon into it.
It really does. This is sweet. It has a heavy flavor of brown sugar, a heavy flavor of the cinnamon and ginger. It's very obnoxiously seasonal. I could have one of these maybe, unless I was just on some sort of tear where I wanted to drink seasonal beer like it was.
Well, we did that.
Well, yes.
With the pumpkin beers.
Right.
Matt and I came across many pumpkin beers. We took a tour de pumpkin, if you will, and we drank as many as we could, discovering that there are some pumpkin beers that I could down a 6-pack, and there are some that I need one, and that I'd like to have PBR or something really light and plain for the rest of the evening, because it's just so overpowering.
Right.
And it's not always necessarily sweet. Sometimes it's just too much spice. Sometimes it's too much other things.
What I'll say about this is, despite the heavy flavor, it's actually kind of a light texture to the beer. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
No, it does.
And I want to make it make sense to the casual beer drinker.
To the casual beer drinker.
Despite the fact that it's obnoxiously flavorful, I feel like I could drink a couple of these and not feel overpowered. Yeah, weighed down. Full.
It's not, you know, it's not a stout or a porter that's foam a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty lightweight.
It's not dense.
Yeah, it's pretty lightweight despite all the flavor. So a lot of people talk about, well, this is real beer and that's real beer and that's not real beer. I'm not drinking real beer if you're not drinking real beer. Nonsense like that. And the fact remains that real beer is, of course, whatever is by definition beer. But real beer is what you enjoy
Hops,
drinking.
yeast, water, and malt.
Hops, yeast, water, malt. But it's what you enjoy drinking, whether it's Bud Light or you know, your local craft beer. Real beer is what you enjoy drinking.
The last of our craft selection this afternoon, we have Shocktop's Chocolate Wheat.
Ooh, chocolate wheat.
Chocolate Wheat, specially crafted for the season. Belgian-style wheat ale, brewed with spice, aged on cocoa and vanilla beans with all natural flavors and artificial sweeteners.
Artificial sweeteners?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Apparently part of the winter shocks. It has instructions for pouring it.
I bet it does. What are the instructions? To serve, pour it down inside of the glass until half inch is left, then swirl the bottle. So we're supposed to swirl the bottle and release the aroma and,
yeah.
Sorry about that.
I assure you, you will have no struggles releasing the aroma.
I imagine not. Now, another thing about this one, it's a twist off top. Now, I remember seeing commercials for Sam Adams, because Sam Adams likes to tell you how to be a beer drinker, that the twist off tops allow oxygen in more so than pry off tops, which will make the beer go bad quicker. Well, just don't let your beer go bad. Fucking drink it.
Yep.
So, because it's a twist off.
Are you using my trick?
Your trick? This is a trick I learned in middle school.
Whatever. It's a trick I learned in probably middle school. I've never seen you do it before.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever.
Well, actually, it's a trick I learned after college, but someone said that's a middle school trick. So, I always refer to it as such. They tell you to do it. I wouldn't do it, but.
It's not like shake, it's like swirl. Like,
you can see the same
no. Swirl. Okay.
Whatever.
Are you ready? This one's strong.
Oh, that's nice.
It tastes like a milkshake.
It really does.
Yep, I know. My mom was telling me earlier, she was saying, because I stole this from her. Hi, Mom. I stole this beer from her, and she was saying, we need to get some ice cream to make ice cream floats. And I honestly think that this beer is a little too sweet for that. They do sell 6-packs where it's half chocolate wheat and half of the Shocktop just regular wheat.
Oh, okay.
You kind of black and tan it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice, you know, with the chocolate, the vanilla flavors in this one, and the citrus flavors in the Shocktop.
We should do an episode on black and tans.
Or just beer mixtures in general.
Yeah, this one, I don't think I could have much more than about half of one. This is really mouthy. It's pleasant, it's enjoyable. I would like to have half of one, but I don't think I'd want to drink a whole one, or certainly not a 6-pack. It's heavy. And I do like heavy beers, mind you. I like my stouts and my Guinness and whatnot occasionally, but this one is, it's really flavorful, kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Has a strong chocolate flavor. You can kind of pick up on the vanilla. You know, vanilla is often used to enhance chocolate flavor.
I realize by the time we post this video, it's going to be far past the holidays, or at least somewhat past the holidays. But for the next holiday season, you may want to bear in mind this beer is very palatable, very sweet, has quite a pronounced chocolatey flavor. So if your kids are misbehaving at the holidays and you want to make sure you know how to knock them out or something like that, this is not a bad idea.
Matt, that's terrible advice. In the meantime, if you'd like to have a dessert and maybe want to go for a few less calories, having one of these would take care of it.
That's true. Although on the previous topic, it's been said multiple times before that Matt Stash is not a role model.
For our lightning round.
What is the lightning round, Rita?
Our lightning round is where we take a mass market, a more affordable beer, and we put some time on the clock, and we make some comments about it. Last time we ran over our time, but it was fun anyway.
All right.
Today's lightning round.
What's our lightning round
Can
beer?
you give me a drum roll? Rolling Rock!
All right.
That happened to be left in the fridge.
Yeah, that's right. I may have lost the couch, but I gained like 5 beers, so I think that's an even trade.
Of various varieties.
I also got a blender, that's nice.
Daiquiris for everybody!
That's right.
Alright,
Okay,
so Rolling Rock. It's a twist off.
Oh, it's a twist off.
I'm gonna do your middle school trick. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, my arm. Okay.
All right. So, lightning round. If we can't drink this much Rolling Rock in a minute, then we're terrible people.
Get out the bottle.
I guess.
Alright, before we start, Rolling Rock does have this interesting phraseology, something. Has this little poem on the back. Rolling Rock. It's to honor the tradition of this great brand, we quote from the original pledge of quality. From the glass-lined tanks of Old Latrobe, we tender this premium beer for your enjoyment as a tribute to good taste. It comes from the mountain springs to you, 33.
33.
Nobody knows what the 33 means. It's been a secret forever. Alright, time on the clock. Let's drink.
Tastes like beer.
A little bit like this.
Reminds me of college.
I never went to college.
I was thinking about the piss.
Reminds me of the time that... Never mind, that's not a good story.
It's terrible. It's not bad. I would drink this if someone gave it to me.
I would drink this if it were already in the refrigerator.
I would drink this if someone stole my couch but left me a 6-pack of it, and I wouldn't call the
A
cops.
5-pack. I would drink this if it were $2.
Oh, that's true. I would drink 2 of these.
I would drink this if I were at a bar and somebody handed it to me.
That's actually not a really good policy. You
I
gotta
know.
double check.
I'm sorry.
I would.
Wait, but I was... Okay, so this is actually a story when I was at the Beer Mustache Club meeting, and Steve handed me a Stella just because the credit card minimum was $5 and he had to buy 2. And he was like, here's a beer. I mean, that kind of situation. I don't mean
right. Someone
some stranger.
Okay.
I would drink this if someone I knew handed it to me.
I would drink this if Steve Shipman bought me one. Thank you for joining us on Beer Reviews, where we discuss beer in a way that you, the casual beer drinker, can understand.
Swing it, man!
Steve Shipman, of course, the proprietor of Pandemic Printworks, a fine screen printing shop in Noda, which, for those of you who are not in Charlotte, North Carolina, is the North. Oh, he's not?
No, he's like somewhere else now.
He's not in Noda anymore, but he was.
He was. Yep.
Swing it, man!
We're here to take the pretension out of beer drinking
And put it in
and put it elsewhere.
other things.
Everything
like
else.
Presentation.
Everything else.
Everything else.